So race day morning, just about to go and get registered. I got the bike sorted now. Had a little issue because obviously I'm running cameras, so the normal standard race plate that would normally fit under the Garmin, but I've developed an additional bracket which will be available for anyone that now holds your, let's bring it round here, a new bracket that will clamp onto the GoPro mount on the bottom of your computer, your camera fixers on, and then the race plate, standard race plate, original, fits behind and the number will fit up there nicely. I'll show you that once I get it. But time to get off to registration. I have got, fortunately, Cheeky Ben with me this morning. So that will be a big help because it's real warm. I think I'm going to need bottles handed up each lap, but we'll see how we go. And let's get registered. So as you see, no faffing about with cable ties, trying to work out on the bars where you're going to put it when you've got the race plate. So the new GoPro mount, that will be on the website this week, available to buy as an addition. And the race plates are on there and the race plate arrows. TCC 10 for 10% discount. If you put that in at the checkout, that'll get you an extra 10% off. Right, time to get kitted up, numbered up, because I've still got to pin this off. I ain't gotten a solution for this yet. I'll work on it and get ready to race. So we're down at the start, all ready to go. I'm going to go and do a lap just to have another look at the course, see any changes. A little bit of a warm up as well, but I really don't know how I'm going to go for this one. I'm not expecting too much. I don't feel the best, but sometimes that turns out good. Not sure how many people are in, but if I can get in the top 50%, I'll be well happy. I'll feel like, yeah, things are going the right way. I think I'm going to ride my way into the season a bit, or race my way into the season, hopefully. I've got Ben in the pits, feed zone, so he's going to pass up a bottle each lap, because I just don't want to carry too much extra weight. I've already got the cameras on, so I don't need to add more water. And we'll see, but I'll get on course, have a little look. Sign lap done. Yeah, it's all right. Sandy, proper sandy in a couple of places. You'll see that on the race video. So yeah, definitely some loose bits to be careful on. There's a lot of people here. That start is going to be flat out, and I don't want to kill myself, but I do want to be near the front. So gonna have to do a little bit of a measured start, but hard enough to not completely muff it up. And then kind of work my way through, because I'm not going to have the legs go with the big boys, definitely no way. So I don't want to kill myself going with people that I ain't going to be racing with, you know. That'll be my plan. I've done a little bar now, 30 minutes. Got 15 minutes till we've got to line up for the pens. So I'm going to go to the toilet, grab another bar for the race, and then hopefully we'll be ready to go. It's quite warm. Not too bad in the trees though, to be fair. I definitely don't feel the freshest at the moment, but hopefully I'll wake up as I'm racing maybe a little bit. We'll see.
I don't know.
Right, queuing up for the start pins. There are a lot of people here. 25. A lot.
Trouble is, on the last lap here, I burped coming down.
Good number of people, so yeah, we'll see. We'll find a position in the pen,
like one of them two,
and we'll go from there and see how we get on.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yep, the man said go. Let's move, everybody. It seemed to be a bit slow getting going. Now I think it was because the inflatable arch slightly narrowed. That guy just cut across. I've no idea what he was doing. Don't know if he had a problem. But yeah, the arch sort of narrowed everybody and funneled you in more. So really we could do with the start line being beyond the arch next time. Use the arch for the finish, but maybe have it beyond. That would certainly be good. Good suggestion for the organisers. Maybe that would be good. But we're off. The course conditions are dry and dusty. Now here, the Forestry Commission have ploughed up the grass each side of the track. I'm not really sure what for, whether it's some sort of fire break or I don't know, but it definitely narrowed it and pushed the field together. I've not started too far back. I'm definitely currently well up there in the top sort of 30. There goes Paul Groombridge. He started right behind me, a little bit slower off the mark, but has soon fired up there as we now hit the gravel. And you can literally see the dust. There's Andy Daniels. He's got himself a good start there, definitely. Doing very well, looking strong. West Suffolk Wheelers rider in front there. Now, I didn't want to go too hard and blow my legs up because I wasn't feeling the best. In fact, I was feeling a bit sleepy and I wasn't fully, yeah, let's go, let's roll. But I'd have a caffeine gel 15 minutes before the start and hopefully that was going to kick in. Roger's had a good start, he's just ahead of me. But look at the dust. You can absolutely see how dry it is and how loose the gravel is. As we take this first turn, I quickly head onto the grass so I'm on the grass as I'm making the turn because nobody wants to slide out, and you can see a lot of the riders are doing that. And the grass, lovely and short, pretty smooth at this time. I'm just checking the camera lens there, making sure that it's all clean and it hasn't got too much dust on there so you guys can see what's going on. It was a lovely warm day, 18 degrees, and things are rolling fast at the front. You can see the front boys are starting to pull a bit of a gap on me, and I don't want to go into the red too early because I've started well up there and I don't feel like these are the guys I'm possibly going to end up racing. And I know shortly as we get halfway around this lap I'm going to be starting to get overtaken by some of the faster guys behind. But the adaptations they've made to the course were fantastic. Lovely flowing courses, really good corners. You can see nobody's held up, there's plenty of room to overtake. Even at the start there wasn't too much bumping or anything like that because they'd done away with that first section of single track that sort of bunched everyone up before. So there's a lot of riding to be done before we get to the first section of single track. There's Ian, he's making his way through there in the rotor kit. Doing a good job, started a little bit further back. He usually starts a bit slower, but he's making his way up through now. He's straight past me. And like I say, I did expect plenty of riders. There's Paul Wright. He was doing Mallorca 312 the weekend before, so he must have had some of that in his legs. And we're making another right turn, slightly blocked by this rider here, a little bit slower on the turn. But we are straight through. There's Sean from Toulouse. He's straight through. Past myself and Roger. But as you can see, plenty of room to overtake. Not a problem. There's Ian. He's come by as well. So I did expect that I would move back, and I'm really not too disappointed. At this point, I didn't want to be gassed. I didn't want to be flat out. I knew I'd be riding for a good 2 hours 20. That was the sort of time I'm thinking I'm going to be doing here. There's Simon from Ely, Simon Pedley. He's come by. Another Toulouse rider there. And here, Roger just sneaks between them. How he got through there without touching. I do shout that, come on guys, give a shout. Let people know what you're doing. Because otherwise, you're just going to have an off. And you're both on the floor. That's not fast for anyone. So I always prefer a little over the shoulder check. But there's all abilities racing. And you do get a lot of people just sketching around there. Again, that rider just sort of cut back onto the track as quick as he could. Didn't really check the other rider that had just come by. Little bit more room needed at times for people. But I do know these guys coming through, they're probably a little bit frustrated from being so far back. But I didn't feel in danger or anything. There's Wayne, he's caught me up as well. As we hit the first single track section that we had been warned this section would be very sandy, much sandier than normal, and you can see it's come to a grinding halt. I make a quick decision here that I'm going to get off and run. I can see Roger trying to get his way through, but I just decide, do you know what? I'm running and I'm already pushing. And this is quite tough, and I decide, right, bike up on the shoulder and we are going. I have to actually put my hand on the Simon's shoulder there because I'm on the higher bank. I don't want to fall on top of the other riders. But as you can see, I'm not making bad progress getting through here. I'm right up behind Ian now, who has managed to battle through the sand, but I'm doing good progress. And then I'm back onto the bike now, and we are off and riding. But this sand is loose and deep, and it's definitely better to pick any of the grass you can and sort of cut the edges of this sand, because it's so slippery and we are so bunched up. If anyone stops, you have had it. You are gonna be off, and it's pretty tricky to get going again. And you can see I'm literally just cutting corners, and that's purely to stay on the grass and keep the traction going. But we're out of the sandy section and we've survived, but it has bunched the field up quite a lot. As we came out of the single track, you had to be really careful. Now I noticed this on the pre-ride, but you've got to slow right down. You do not want to be doing a sharp turn because the gravel is super loose. But you can see the riders ahead there have literally gunned it and gone for it to open up the gap. There's Sean back past me and the other Velouz rider. They're straight by, trying to make up for the time they all lost in the sand while I was running. So definitely a little bit of running didn't do me any harm on this one, that's for sure. And you've always got to look for the best way forward in racing. This guy overcooks it a little bit, but just about survives. I think he broke the tape, but he survived. He just come in a little bit hot for a right hand, and then probably thought better of just trying to turn in on the loose sand. This section of single track, you can see all the riders strung out in front of me. Now I don't do particularly well here. I wasn't feeling too confident on this particular single track because it was very sandy. And again, as you come out, I've gone straight over on the grass on the other side so I can get my turn done as safely as possible. And literally, there's a line down the middle and on the left hand side where you could ride safely, because the rest of it is pretty deep, loose gravel, and it did make it very challenging, especially with that corner there that come right back onto us. Very tricky to get round. And everybody's disappeared. And now I'm looking pretty much solo, but there are other riders around me just behind, and I'll keep them pushing on. As you can see, good effort going in. Being careful as I make the turn onto the gravel. I do not want to come down on that one. Safety is my priority, and just getting around this first lap, getting into some rhythm, seeing how my legs are, that was the main feature for me of this race, is how are my legs after winter training when I'm really not feeling super confident in how well they're going to stack up. I'd ridden the weekend before, 105-mile ride, and I was done at 40, so that was a hard day out, and I really didn't have much confidence. You can see the leaders coming through past the feed zone.
Nice work, Andy.
Ben giving plenty of support to all the riders we know, all the local ones from the Eastern Cross series and other mates we've got around from cycling. Now this guy goes wide, I just ease up. I'm not going to cut in on him. This is lap one. We don't need to be being super pushy as far as I'm concerned. Ian doing a good job there, and you can see there's plenty of groups of riders just ahead of me. Not too far ahead,
Nice work, Wayne.
but they are ahead. There's Wayne, you saw him come past me a while ago, and Ben's looking out for me because we decided I'd take a bottle each lap. First one, a bottle with a gel. Taped to the top so that as I put that in my cage, I can pull the gel off, the gel's open, in it goes, keeping the carbs going in.
Well done, dude,
I
nice
dispose
work.
of the bottle I got, nice changeover, Ben will pick up the other bottle and retrieve that, and I need to get this in. Now the only tricky bit was they put the timing little ramp just before the feed zone, so I want to get my bottle out one-handed, but then I've got to go over a ramp. That was a little bit tricky, so again, maybe something to think around the feed zone when people are taking hands off bars. We don't need any additional obstacles. Second lap, we had to go through the single track that we skipped on the first lap, and then this lovely section through the trees. Fantastic section. This is a really nice course, pretty much pan flat. There's not much incline on this course at all, and that probably didn't help me on the day, because being a lighter rider, I do like my inclines, I do like a little bit of a kick up. It does help. There's my club mate, Steve King, going like a train. Steve had a fantastic ride, just like a diesel engine. He caught up to us, taking his time, and he is literally pushing on. And I think, right, let's get on his wheel and get dragged along this gravel, because there was a little bit of a headwind, not a lot, but a little bit. And I'm just thinking, Steve's a good wheel to get on. I've ridden with him a few times, and it's great to get pulled along by these boys. Really nice. You can see Steve there tapping out a nice little rhythm as we do the right turn onto the grass. Again, cutting the corner, just keeping it safe. But he was pushing on a bit. And it's at this point, I decided I'm not sure holding Steve wheel today is gonna be the best for me. When it's flat, not too punchy, Steve is in his element. For me, I need that punch. I need the stuff we get in cross. Then I stand more of a chance to fight with him. On this terrain, I was prepared to say, see you later, Steve. Off you go with that group, because it's gonna be a little bit too hot. With hindsight, maybe I should have gone for longer. I do regret this bit and think I should have pushed on more. You can see the front boys picking up some bottles, and they are moving.
Nice work, Grimbo.
There's Paul Groombridge. He's right up there with them. Furthest Ford Eastern rider that I know up there, having a great race.
Nice work, Ian. Stick with that group.
Ian's doing well as well, pushing through.
Well
Everybody
done, Wayne. Well done, Sean.
making progress. Sean having a great race. Simon's well up there now. All these guys moving along.
Well done, Steve. Nice work.
Steve's doing really well. I'm coming in to pick up my bottle and start the next lap. As we go for lap 3, Ben telling me the bottle's open, because when I picked up the previous one, he hadn't opened it, and we had discussed, just twist it, make sure it's open so I get it in my mouth, get the fluids in. 500ml minimum per bottle, and I was caning one every lap with 500mg of sodium as well. So I was making sure I did not want to cramp, and I wanted to keep the fluids going in. Now just bear in mind, 500mg of sodium, and then this happens. Yeah, I've been hit by the Cramp sniper. He's took me out. Some expletives coming out here, because my calf is literally popped halfway round my leg right now, and I'm just giving that a little stretch to pop it back in, because that's got me big time. We literally came to a stop, Roger stopped, and I had to push hard on the pedals to get going again in the sand. And man, that hurt. That hurt a lot. Now all I can think is, it's from the previous days where I hadn't been getting enough fluids in, hadn't got my sodium up enough. I had done a little bit the day before. That clearly is not enough, Simon. So I am now set to concentrate on nutrition, fluids for the next 2 weeks solid, to get myself ready for the next event, because I cannot be getting hit with this crap, because this really did nail my race. I could no longer push super hard, because at any point I would get bitten by cramp in the calf. Very, very sore. So
Well done,
I
Andy.
now
Nice work.
was having to
Well done,
compromise
Ian.
my
Nice
race.
work. Don't do all the work.
Ben with the advice and the support. Being a racer
Well done,
himself,
Steve. Nice work.
he does have some good support for
Well done,
people,
Wayne.
and he did enjoy the day himself. Simon just going backwards from Wayne a little bit himself there. He's coming back towards me, and as we enter lap 4, I'm picking up my bottle
Well done, dude. Nice work.
with another
Keep
gel,
going.
get the nutrition in. So the gel's now coming off the bottle, and I'm getting that in. It does mean I do get a little bit gapped at times from the riders around me, but as you can see, as soon as we hit the single track, I've closed right back up to them again, and I'm keeping that nutrition and fluids going in all the time. And by lap 4, I'm thinking my legs are still good. Yes, my calf hurts, I can't push too hard, but my quads, my hamstrings still feel like they've got plenty in there, and I want to give a push and make some progress. Now here, I decide I'll have a little bit more excitement in the sand and literally got a bit of a tail whip on. It came right round on me. Luckily I was able to get out of the saddle and just pull it back round using my cross skills. That was a big help and I was lucky not to come off. Front guys coming through. Not many picking up fluids that are being offered, which is a surprise. Paul was certainly picking up plenty.
Well done, James. 1 to go. Go on, Andy. Last one. Keep it
Definitely
going.
needed them. Andy had a hydration
Go on,
pack
Ian. Last
on.
one. Chase forward.
He has
Nice
just
work,
doing
Ian.
the
Keep chasing
bottles.
on.
But look at the groups
Well done,
coming
Sean.
through.
Well done, Steve.
Steve's still with that group. He's enjoying himself far too much.
Can't do one more. Nice work.
I'm coming round for the last lap. And I'm thinking, let's push a little bit now and see if we can make some places up as people die off.
Do you want anything? No, I've got cramp. Oh no, same as me. Yeah. Oh no,
Simon's suffering as well. Maybe it's just if your name's Simon.
Get on.
I give him some encouragement, tell him to get on my wheel. That seems to pick him up a little bit. Perhaps I should have done. You'll see later. Andy giving it for a sprint from the line. I think he just gets pipped there, but he did a great race.
Nice work.
Steve again, out
Sean.
sprinting his group, taking the positions. And as we come into the single track, this guy just sneaks in front of Simon. I cut across there as well, but there was no one round me, so it's safe. Don't think Simon was too chuffed by that little cut-in. And I'm just thinking, right, now, how much have I got for this sprint? And I'm really not close enough to Simon's wheel. I should be a lot closer here. But the other guy just doesn't seem to get acceleration on, and I'm banging up the gears and going. And then I notice Simon slightly sits up. Look, he's freewheeling, and I'm giving it full pedals and just don't quite get him on the line.
I nearly got you. You slowed up a bit much, mate. No, with the fucking line. Race done. Oh, that was hard. Was hard. I felt fresher than I thought. Didn't do too bad, but I did get hit by the old Cramp sniper on lap 3 as I went in the sand. That flipping hurt, and when I had to jump off, crippled. And that made it tricky then to push, because I feel the quads, the hamstrings were good, could have pushed a bit more, but never mind. But I think most people had a good time. Nearly got another one on the line. Just missed out getting Simon on the line, but you know, never mind. It was all good fun. Gonna get myself sorted now, get home, and then I'll look at the lap timings and do a little bit of a recap.
So back home after a great day's racing, and overall I'm not disappointed. 87th out of, I think there was 160 people-ish finished in my age group. So overall, I was just outside the top 50% that I said I wanted to be. And I really believe if I hadn't got hit by that cramp on the 3rd lap, I could have probably made the top 80, which starting out at the beginning of the race, I'd have definitely been happy with, because I had no confidence going into today's race at all. I really didn't know where my legs were. Yes, I've been doing the training, I've been consistent, following the Train and Row programme, but I really haven't got enough long rides in, I don't feel, this year yet. And I'm piling them in now, but I'm a bit worried it's a bit little too late. And we'll see how we get on in the race series. Hopefully I can ride my way into it. Well put on event by Glorious Gravel for the British Race Series, and nice to see so many riders out there. Yes, the top boys are there, they're going quick, but there's plenty of people like myself out there learning how to race at an older age, and most importantly, having fun. It was also great to see so many people using the race plates out there, and the feedback saying that was much better than fiddling with cable ties and wrapping it to their bars. So like I said earlier in the video, TCC10 for 10% off. Get them ordered if you need to. The printer's going now with the GoPro mounts, and the Garmin adapter will be out probably next week. So keep a lookout for the website.
keep looking on socials and I'll let you know when that's available. Also, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. YouTube's doing some weird things at the moment, and I'm missing some of my favourite channels that I'm not subscribed to when their videos come out. You might be too. So hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost you anything, really helps me out and the other channels you enjoy. And if you've liked this video, please hit that like button and look out for the next ones, because I'm off up to York this week to ride that course, ready for that recon to be released a couple of weeks when that race is coming up. I can't get over to Wales. I don't have time, and it's on private land, unfortunately. Glorious Gravel did say they'd arrange it, but I just can't make it work. But I will be there to race the course. And later this week, I'll have my bike set up for the Gralloch coming out.